look, you know the way Skoda say made for Ireland when they were talking on their ads? Well, I thought I'd come here to Sheehy Motors in Naas and see if Skoda is made for Kildare as well. Because I'm originally from Kildare town. This is my county. I want to see what Skoda looks like in my county. The nearest town to Sheehy, of course, is Naas, right here. It's a busy town, always has been since I was a child. Before Naas was bypassed, this was an incredibly difficult town to pass through. And as it's growing up, it's kind of getting difficult again now. Traffic is getting good here, you know. It goes well, it goes badly. It's kind of a weird place to go. Very, very important pubs and things around here. There's Lawler's Hotel, that's been there since I was a child. Everybody used to meet in Lawler's Hotel. It's one of those places. Fast approaching one of the most famous landmarks, modern day landmarks in Kildare. You might just be able to catch that out the front window there. Big black ball sitting on the side of the road. Amazing looking thing, actually. Everybody knows what that is. Right, on to another town. You know, with all the electrics around and all that, it's very easy to forget just how smooth and refined a good diesel is. Damn, so well put together. So when I was a young lad, what we're going up now is the Curragh Racecourse. The most important event of Kildare calendar was the Derby Festival. And the Derby Festival was a big festival in Kildare town. Everybody would go to the Derby Festival. We had all of the biggest bands in the world would come down to the Derby Festival. But it all centred around a Derby race, which happened here for what's called a Curragh Racecourse. But this racecourse, of course, changed since then. It's much more refined now, much more stylish now, much more cool now. After the Curragh Plains, one of my favourite places of all is actually Kildare town. It's where I was born and where I grew up. It's a place that's difficult because it was bypassed very early on. You know, Kildare town was the bottleneck of going. If you wanted to go anywhere down country, Limerick, Cork, it made a difference where you're going. You had to pass through Kildare town. And then one day, it was bypassed and it nearly killed the town. It nearly ended it. And this is a town that has St. Bridget's Cathedral in it, a round tower in it. It was a market town, it was a walled town. Huge historical significance to this town, but all of a sudden, everybody was taking the motorway to go around Kildare, not through it. Going to be naughty for a second. Take a picture outside the cathedral. Say nothing until you hear more. Yep, I'm home, all right. There's the cathedral. Used to be a cinema at Silk and Thomas. Now it's a pub and restaurant, but that was actually a full-size cinema. It's exactly where we used to play during the Derby Festival. So goodbye Kildare. There used to be the army barracks there on the left-hand side. That's gone as well. Now we move on to the other main town of Kildare, which is Newbridge, as we cruise back across the Curragh again to head back towards Naas. Newbridge is in the middle of the two. An incredibly bustling town. We'll see more when we get there. So here I am in Newbridge, passing by McLaughlin's, famous landmarks. McLaughlin's been there forever. I'm coming up to this kind of main crossroads that comes into the town itself. It's a big town. Newbridge has grown over all the years. I used to live in Newbridge down in Curragh, down that road there. You can't remember the name of it now. So everything happened in Newbridge when I was a kid. If my mother wanted to go shopping, we would come to Newbridge on the bus, or even cycle to Newbridge as well was the other thing, just because the shops here were much bigger than the ones we had in Kildare. It was a totally different experience for town. Newbridge now is a very modern, lively town. It's grown substantially over the years. And of course, the next nearest town then is Naas, and between the two of those is Sheehy Motors, where we got the car. I love these cars. You know, it's easy to kind of stand back and go, you know, look at all the electric cars that are coming. And yes, Skoda has an Enyaq and have all of those cars that are coming, but there's something so uniquely normal about diesel and petrol cars. This is a diesel one, and I don't know whether we're going to change, and whether maybe the whole world is changing. You know, maybe we're getting more racially diverse, and it's becoming more interesting to talk to people now as they come from all over the world rather than just coming from, I don't know, Kilcullen or somewhere. You know, the whole world has changed in that respect, and it's become a more massively global thing. And I think that's where Skoda, as a Czech company, has made cars that almost perfectly suit Irish needs. They've done it all the time, you know. If you look at all the range, the Superb, the Octavia, the Kodiaq that I'm driving here, the Karoq, now the new Enyaq, you know, they're all in there. All those cars are ones that are probably my favourite cars over all the years, as normal cars go. And then the kind of more unusual stuff among them, like the RS and the Octavia RS, the little Fabia RS that was out years ago. All these cars are something that add to the list of stuff to do. But Newbridge has been strangled over all the years by traffic lights. I used to live here, so I'm allowed to say this. There are too many traffic lights in Newbridge. It's this constant stop, start, all the way through the town, and it creates huge traffic problems as well, you know. And as Ireland gets bigger and brighter and larger in every respect, you know, this Skoda seems to fit in as a brand in the middle of that. It just seems to fit very well. So the whole Skoda for Ireland, built for Ireland, actually it was built for my hometown, Kildare. So of course Newbridge has become quite a big powerhouse in employment as well. This is Pfizer here beside us, which has hundreds of employees in it. And then just up the way, I think, is a little distribution centre. So it's actually a huge population base now on this side of Newbridge and going back into the town. It's become a massive employer, and of course Pfizer's been here. Before that was Wyatt was here, so it's a long historical area, this part. Before that was Polaroid. They built a factory here before they went down. You know, Polaroid, like cameras thing, they actually had a factory here as well. I remember seeing a Polaroid over the door for years. I don't think it ever actually opened as a factory. This is a distribution centre here for one of the big German giants just along this, and it's a massive employer as well, and huge distribution centre, which leads us out onto the old road that would have been between Newbridge and Naas. This was a main artery for as long as I can remember. My mother used to work in a nursing home along here as well. We had to go and collect her in my father's Vauxhall Viva. Just at the tail end of now a newly sort of constructed road, that dual carriageway that takes you over from Newbridge and straight into Naas will take you right by the gate of Sheehy Motors, which has been here, God, it's been here for a long number of years now. I don't remember when it started up, but it certainly has been there a long time. And these Skodas just, you know, when you Google my name, Bob Flavin, and the next word that comes up is Skoda. And I don't know why. I've never really done more reviews of Skodas than any other car. I've never really favoured Skoda. I've criticised Skoda over the years for some of the moves they've made and stuff. And yet, you know what? You get into one, any one of them, and there's just something, I can't quite put my finger on it, something Irish, something Kildare about the whole thing. It's just brilliant. Right here, Sheehy Motors, turn the corner and you're in. And It's always here. So I hope you enjoyed the little tour of Kildare today. Thanks to Sheehy Motors for lending me the car to have a spin around in. It's reminiscent of another time, you know. It's very cool to see these places arrive and right on the edge and become part of the community and part of everything. Sheehy Motors sponsored a lot of GAA stuff around the place as well. They've done it over the years, they've done it very, very well. I really love those Kodiaks. Like, I'd want to own one of them. And then of course the ENIAC is here as well, which was reviews on my channel about all those kind of things. There's one right there charging up at the moment. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've subscribed at this point. If you like these kind of videos, let me know. I really want to know whether you like this kind of thing or not. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, I'll see you on the far side.